Shalom. So today we're going to talk about passive aggressive behaviors when it comes to the covert narcissist. These behavior traits are not limited to narcissists only, but normal people, they will have the same patterns, the same traits, but that does not make them covert. That does not make them narcissists. All right? So these are normal things you'll find in with a lot of people. Now, one of the things she used to try, she tries it a lot just to avoid certain conversations. She doesn't like confrontation when it comes to things pertaining to her, right? And that is the moment that tried, she tried to use her charms. But for a person like me, charms do not work, especially when I want to have conversation. You cannot manipulate me through your charms. It does not work. If I'm talking to you about something, you cannot use sex to take my mind away from what I'm trying to have a conversation about. You cannot come and play with my face or my chest and no. You gotta stay arm length apart, you know? And that is how it is for me. So that's a normal thing a lot of women do to kind of get your mind away from some key matters in the relationship. And then, after the sex, you totally forgot that you wanted to discuss something. So, no, that never worked on me. It will not work. All right? That's the first thing. Always trying to escape things using the charms. No, no. Even with the diversion using sex, men do that too. A lot of times, women want to discuss certain things that are bothering them, or certain things that don't feel right, don't seem right, don't look right, are not right. And then they get all sexual. And then you have this good time, um, pleasurable moment that now your mind is only on how you feel at the time. You forget that you wanted to talk about something very important, right? So you'll find that a lot in certain relationships are with certain type of people, right? Now, another thing that you'll find is, well, with covert, and you'll find it a lot with women sometimes, where they will just shut down. They think it is normal behavior, and a lot of them will say, when a woman stops talking, like you should get a clear message. No, what actually happened when she stops talking is that she go into that narcissistic trait where you shut down, because it's not normal for women to be aggressive if it's not something that pertaining to like harming them or their children or so forth, right? So aggression for them is more in a passive way, and that's how they deal with their aggression. They just go in a silent zone. This is why they cry. They don't cry actually always because something that actually hurt them. They cry as a way to express their anger. They're not like us. We express our anger differently. And this is why you see you'll find it overt narcissism more common in men. They're more of that type. They're more bold with their aggression. It's easy to see when they are angry. When a woman is angry, it is not easy, it's very subtle because it's just in some simple things that they do, simple things that they change. You have to be attentive to see it. So for the women who think that, oh, when I stop speaking, that is it. When I say, okay, I'm fine. No, that's not healthy. It's normal for you based on how relationships have been, but it's not a normal behavior. It's a very dangerous behavior. So don't think that's healthy, right? Like I said, these are not just with narcissists, but you'll find them in normal relationships that people have been normalizing, especially with the aid of social media and the memes that they are now esteeming, right? Now, another thing you'll find is withdraw. The covert tried this with me. It just never worked. I am not subjected to my human nature. You cannot withdraw sex from me to play on my guilt or anything, or have me desiring to know what is wrong, what is the matter. You withdraw sex, that's fine. You will not hear me asking you, you will not hear me saying anything about it. You cannot use sex as a weapon against me. It will fail, and most likely it will backfire. Right? So, for example, a woman might have, say, lied to you from the beginning. She has her man, right? Now, the man might be away for some time, and she start talking to you. She knows what she's doing is just a one night stand. That's what this is, a nightstand. She knows that is what it is. It cannot be anything more than a nightstand, even if it lasts 6 months, right? Say the man goes away to work for 6 months, that period is still a nightstand, right? The woman will know this, but it's already in their nature to not be honest upfront to say, you know what, this is what I'm looking for. I'm only looking for sex. They're not going to give you that impression at first. They have to lie. Oh, I want a relationship. Make sure you're not using me and stuff like that. Now, what happens is that for 5 months, you get a good side of her. You feel as if you're actually in a relationship because she says that's what she wants. So you're building something, well, at least in your mind. Now, in the 6th month, what you realize is that she no longer makes breakfast for you. She no longer irons your clothes to go to work. She no longer keeps the home the way she used to keep it. You know? Now you have to start doing these things, right? So the whole point of this is that this fairy tale is coming to an end and she does not know how to tell you what she should have told you from the beginning. And the reality is coming now because the time is coming where her man is to come back and she has another man in the house. Now she's stuck because she does not know if this man will want to leave. So now she starts showing all these signs. that is being passive because you don't have the courage to be direct to say, this is it, I'm not looking for anything more. That's it. Right? Now, another thing you'll find is that this is it's a form of spite where when someone is tired of you asking them to do something, it's not something out of their way. It is something that they're supposed to do, right? So now their way of they cannot tell you they cannot tell you, don't ask me for this anymore. They have to be passive about it. And their way of showing you to not ask them is by doing what? Doing a messy job. And you'll find that with your children too. You tell them to go sweep the yard, go do this, go clean that. But the way they do it is as if you have to go back over their work. You know, it is a form of spite to tell you not to ask me anymore to do this, right? No. Another experience I had was, and let me say this first, the narcissists, they are not all that stupid. They act on instincts, but some things are very normal for them to do, and it's easy for them to do. They will observe your circle, your family, your friends, whatever social group you are in, your social structure, right? And they will know exactly who from your family, who from your friends they can manipulate. The covert narcissist was afraid of being around my family because she saw the structure of my family. She knew there was no way in. She avoided them in every possible way that she could. Now there was this one time where my brother was having an event, and he had asked her to stay in the bar for the event, for the night, just a few hours. She did not say no. It's not in these people to be so direct to say, you know, but she gave the impression as if, okay, yeah, I'll do that. But when the time came for the event, she never came. For whatever reasons, she had she had her own reasons for something she had initially agreed on. Now, one of the things with me is I do not have interest in excuses or reasons or whatever it is when it comes to certain things. Whatever her reason was for not coming, I only need to accept her not coming. The other things is for her. So that's that. Okay, another thing is that this one is not just for narcissists. People in normal relationships do these things, right? Again, it will be done out of spite, just to spite the other person. So say for example, you have an appointment. Now, you're watching over the children. So you're waiting on your partner to come. You know that, okay, your partner's going to be home by, say, midday, right? So you fix your schedule around that time to say if she's going to be around midday, so by 1 o'clock you can go do what you need to do. So right? You give her time to get in, settle in, to take over the children. No, she will go do something else just to not be early so you can go and do what you want to do. It is a form of spite, but it's very passive. But the intention is to get you pissed off, is to get you angry because now you need to go and do something. And now whoever else is waiting on you, you are, it's like you change plans on them. So they're not late because they're really late, like caught up in traffic or something. They're late because they're intentionally doing something else so that they don't arrive on time. Another thing that you'll see is that, and this shows you too how important you are to a person, right? When you have things that are important to you, how much of a priority they make it to them is also a matter of importance. So say you have something for your work to be done and you ask the person to do it, right? And they're just too busy to do it. When you don't feel as if things that are important to you are not as important to the other person, it can make you feel a certain way, as if you're not on their priority list. They don't have that enthusiasm about getting things done for you. Some people make a habit out of this type of thing so that it becomes normal for them, that they don't even realize that there's something wrong with it, that they cannot even see anymore that it is not actually normal. And this is why reciprocity is necessary in all types of relationships. If you're giving, you also want to be receiving. And that's the balance in the equation. This is why it's not good when a giver and a receiver come together, because the giver will only be giving, the receiver will only be receiving. It is not part of their nature to give back, to reciprocate your energy, your time, your willingness, your effort. You're compromising. When two givers come together, that's a good thing. When two receivers come together, that's okay. They will figure out how they'll do it. Now, this one is not only with narcissists, but you'll find it a lot with normal people, right? Listen, it is okay to talk about situations in your relationship with someone else both of you trust. It's not the same when you're talking about your partner. A lot of people love to gossip about their partners, especially with the opposite gender. As a woman, you cannot go to a next man and talk about the shortcomings of your own man. That's gossiping. You can talk about a situation that you both are having with his approval. But because it's so intentional for you to make the man feel less, are you thinking that it will make him feel less about himself for other people to look at him that way? Because it gives a sense of satisfaction to belittle the man. Men do it too. Go to other women about their women. That's very disrespectful. Sometimes a person has a fixed mindset to hurt or to disrespect the other person so much where even if it means to disrespect themselves or to disrespect their partner at the cost of their own, you know, dignity or honor, they will do it. Sometimes for you to know the effect of your actions, sometimes it has to be done to you. For example, a woman telling another man about the shortcomings of her husband, right? It would be equivalent to your man seeing a woman in a party dancing and be telling her he wishes that her wife could do that. What if you know that your husband is talking like that to those women out there? How does that make you feel? What if you have a child and you know it goes after breastfeeding and your husband is now telling other women that he wishes that his wife's breasts look like hers? Can you perceive that feeling for a moment? That's what you don't want to do. That's very disrespectful. No, this thing, a lot of men do it to women, and it's very intentional. You have to work, you have to, do what you have to do, and then this man is there in the home, but he's like one of your children. Meaning, you'd have to go clean up after your children. This man, whatever he does, he'll just throw his clothes wherever. You have to be picking up pieces, socks here, shirt there, marina there. That's very intentional. They he will use the face basin, the water splashes all around, but he'll never clean after himself or use the shower or whatever. It's the same. You this is to constantly get you aggravated, or it adds more stress to your life because you done already did 8 hours of stress at work. Then you thought about coming to deal with the children. Then you have a husband that is an additional problem. That's the last thing a woman who works under pressure have children dealing with, balancing work and school, bringing our children to whatever extra activities they're doing at school, soccer moms, whatever it is. The last thing you want is to have additional problems in your home. Do not normalize your stress to the point where it becomes of no effect to you, meaning you can add more stress and it feels normal. No, You need to be supported, right? Now, one more thing that the covert used to do a lot, what she used to do was say she would make plans to come and see me, right? So we agree and say, okay, next weekend she's gonna come by. When it reaches to that point, she would change her mind. Again, I'm not the type of person to question certain things. She does that so she can stir up something and feed on that. Behaviors like those, I make a sport out of. She says she changes her mind, she won't make it. Okay, no problem. I'll see you when you're free. And that's it. It never worked. And you find this type of passive aggressive behavior a lot in even in men too, right? Because you might have this cool friend or someone you actually think is cool, right? You know his intentions, but he has something that you actually want help with. For example, you need your yard to cut and he has a lawnmower, right? You need your yard to cut and he has a lawnmower. You ask him to come and cut your yard this weekend if he can do it, and he says yes. No, he has other expectations. And then he asks you something, but you say no. No, he changes his mind from the agreement of coming to cut your yard. That is also passive aggressive. When when you make an agreement with the person to do something, if disagreements come up, don't change what you had agreed on. Especially if you know it is something that is important for the other person. Especially if it is something that will help the person to go forward. You don't sabotage people because you don't feel good about something or you believe that the person should not tell you no, or in your head is a favor for favor thing. No, that says a lot about you.